Welcome back to Epic in 5. Today we're diving into one of the greatest courtroom dramas ever made, 12 Angry Men. If you enjoy movie recaps, make sure to check out the other videos on Epic in 5 after this one. Now let's begin. The movie opens in a New York City courthouse where a young boy is on trial for murdering his father. If the jury finds him guilty, he faces the death penalty. The judge reminds the 12 jurors that the verdict must be unanimous. The men enter a cramped and overheated jury room, frustrated, restless, and ready to get the decision over with. Believing the boy is guilty, they immediately take a vote. 11 vote guilty. Only Juror 8, played by Fonda, votes not guilty. Not because he believes the boy is innocent, but because he cannot sentence someone to death without at least talking about it. This single vote triggers irritation across the room, especially from the explosive and stubborn Juror 3. Juror 8 starts questioning the so-called airtight evidence. First, the knife. The prosecution insisted it was unique, but Juror 8 reveals an identical knife he bought easily. Suddenly, the case is not as flawless as everyone believed. Next, he questions the testimony of the old man living downstairs. The man said he heard the boy shout, "I'm going to kill you," and then saw him run downstairs. But Juror 9 points out the man walked with difficulty. When the jurors reenact his movement and timing, it becomes obvious he couldn't have reached his door fast enough to see what he claimed. Tension rises. Personal biases surface, especially from Juror 3, whose broken relationship with his own son affects his judgment. Then comes the second key witness, a woman who claimed she saw the murder through the windows of a passing train. She wore glasses regularly, but wasn't wearing them in court. Juror 8 argues she likely wasn't wearing them while lying in bed either, and without glasses, her vision would have been blurred. Her testimony suddenly falls apart. Gradually, more jurors change their votes. Even those who were impatient, like Juror 7, begin realizing the case isn't as solid as it seemed. Juror 3 becomes the last man insisting on guilt. He shouts, trembles, argues, and clings to the verdict out of emotion rather than logic. But when he reenacts the murder, he realizes the angle of the stab wound is unlikely for a shorter boy stabbing a taller man. Finally, exhausted and overwhelmed, Juror 3 breaks down. He admits his anger toward his own son has controlled his judgment. Through tears, he tears up a photograph of his boy and whispers, "Not guilty." The verdict is unanimous. The jurors quietly leave the room, changed by the intense debate. Juror 8 and Juror 9 share a brief moment of respect before stepping out into the sunlight. The boy's life is saved, not because they proved innocence, but because one man stood against indifference and demanded real justice. Thanks for watching Epic in 5. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to check out more videos on the channel. Lots of great movie breakdowns are waiting for you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep exploring amazing films with Epic in 5. See you in the next one.